The credit really goes to my son. But we're here today to support and rally the community of Minisink. Like my home in Milanville, Pennsylvania, hardly anyone would have ever heard of Milanville, Pennsylvania or Minisink. These places, these small, quiet hamlets where people choose to live because of the peace, the tranquility, the comfort of the woods around them, the clean air to breathe, the sound of crickets at night, and the sound of birds in the morning, where they believed when they made that purchase or built that house and struggled to pay that mortgage, that their children would be safe, being brought up with the backyards, with clean backyards and white picket fences, where they believed that not only would their children not be put in harm's way, but they certainly would be advantaged by that environment. That dream, that intention is now being shattered. And we are here today to know and to learn about Minisink and why Minisink matters. A year ago, when my friend Susan Van Dolsen, who's right there, first brought me up to Minisink from the city, I was enchanted. It was a beautiful fall day. It was just like Milanville, I said. And they're building a compression station here? I couldn't believe it. I think as I stand here today, that I really never got over the shock of that day. We're all here together, Minisink or Milanville, or Milford, Pennsylvania, where the industry tore down 100-year-old houses, more than 100 probably, to run pipes, or Roseland, New Jersey, another compression station being built near an environmental center and right near an elementary school, where they were shocked when the first blowdown took place. Or Pavilion, Wyoming, where that good-looking cattle farmer you remember in Gasland, the first Gasland movie with the big hat, who has to now import his water, his drinking water, because the aquifer on his cattle farm has been poisoned by the oil and gas industry, and the EPA has not been able to replace that water. Or San Bruno, California, where one of those gas explosions in the blink of an eye destroyed 19 homes. Or the BP oil spill, which has destroyed the Gulf of Mexico as a viable ecosystem. And still, the oil and gas industry's presence there is slowly destroying the rest of the Native American tribes that still remain there. Death by isolation from the BP settlement. Most people don't know that. They have been left out. Death by new illnesses that each of them get every time they go in the water. Death by we, the government, will ignore your needs and hope no one notices. What do we want to gain here today? What is this rally for? Justice, I was told. Right now, there is none. Not at the moment. Minisink is a community trying to be noticed by the larger world, bravely looking to our democratic government to do the right thing, following the rules, taking their case to court, waiting for justice to reign while the compression station spews toxins known to cause disastrous illnesses, not only to today's children of Minisink, but to those who are yet to be born. For many generations to come, invading the womb, poisoning a safely deposited, genetically sound, healthy egg and sperm. Yet this is what the research is telling us. No longer do we look just to faulty genes to understand the root causes for diseases like childhood diabetes, obesity, attention deficit disorder, asthma, autism, and cancers of all kinds. These diseases have dramatically increased over the last 10 to 15 years. And we have only to look to the chemicals that are blanketing the earth for the root causes of these diseases. As a person who has lived through and engaged personally in the great civil rights movement of our time that brought some measure of equality to the disenfranchised, at least in the law, and that forced by the law changes in behaviors and attitudes, the laws that were enacted not without sacrifice of those who were chased by dogs, brought to their knees by the hoses or guns, or went to jail in the name of those who were hung from trees and died. As a person who is part of the anti-war movement That is the Vietnam War, the father of my children who dodged the draft we fought to remove from the protection of the law active protests and civil disobedience that unavoidably resulted in jail terms and death. And we no longer have conscription today. We no longer have the draft. And as a person whose children owe their life here in America to grandparents who escaped from Nazi persecution, and for all those who remained because they did not believe in the power of an evil government and what an evil government could do, I say to Minisinkers, take some lessons from history. Do not give up. You are not alone in this struggle. We are with you and we will stand with you. Minisink matters. It matters for all these reasons. It was the fight for the little red house built in the woods 40 years ago in Milanville, Pennsylvania, that is responsible for the oil and gas industry having recently announced its decision to abandon drilling of 80 acres of leased land in the upper Delaware River. That decision was just made because of this protest that was started 40 years ago because that little red house, which we built with our own two hands, is still standing there. This battle we are in is on the right side of our world's history. I shuddered at the picture of the globe sparkling and whirling in space that appears at the end of Gasland 2, with a voice all too familiar to me that says, it is the plan for natural gas to become the new world energy. I say to you here today at this rally for Minisink, you are part of the plan that will change that plan, because that plan needs to be changed for the human race to survive healthy and whole and in a world that can be inhabited safely by humans. And I believe it will be changed by and for the people. We are those people. The people of Minisink are the source of inspiration and action that will make that change happen. Thank you.